Hey there, Shaka.
All right, how you doing today?
I am great. So
Good, good.
tonight, thank y'all for tuning in to Unjust. Tonight we're going to be covering the case of or the situation with Queen Sister Pearl. Um, this is a very near and dear case. Um, because I'll let Shaka explain about his live that he does and who she is to his movement and to this movement. Go for it, Shaka.
Well, um, I'm Shaka Sankofa. Y'all know General of the Street Law Soldiers, Washington D.C. And this particular case has actually kind of stirred some fire in me to want to bring some clarity and then bring some justice to the things that are going on. And I can truly relate to that by watching the video and having, you know, similar situations, a couple of them severe in dealing with so-called law enforcement and things of that nature. So, I'm taking a personal interest into this particular situation and dealing with Sister Pearl's situation. So, um, I'm just going to, play it by ear and then just follow, the lead that, you all have set and the trends you have set in terms of trying to, you know, um, bring these folks to justice to prevent any further situations as such as those, because, this was a very traumatizing situation viewing it. So I can definitely feel how Sister Pearl felt, as well as those children,
Yeah,
which is a
definitely.
big, major issue in terms of where would their mindset and their mental and emotional state be at 10 years from now?
Yeah.
Because situations like this never or rarely uh, leaves the mind and leaves the psyche of our babies.
Yeah. So on that note, I'm going to share my screen and show the video, okay? This video is really disturbing and graphic. Um so I'm just throwing that disclaimer out. We support Queen Pearl and let me share this video. Can y'all see it?
Can we see it?
Yeah.
No.
Hold on. Oh, hold on. Let me see something. I'm going to play it. Where am I phone? Right now. Live. Right now. Y'all, the police is pulling on me. No, put on the police here. Can y'all hear it?
Yeah.
He just took my keys. Put on me. This police, I'm on Highway 55. Hold it still. I'm on Highway 55. Y'all, me and my family, my grandbaby, Lena, I need y'all. What you turn on? Call Daddy. He's threatening to taser. Leave my son alone. Leave my son alone. What is your name, sir? What is your name? Hold on 1 second. I had to stop the screen share because I want to make sure that we can see this so we can discuss this. I don't want to
Okay.
leave anything out. Y'all bear with me. Um, share screen. Oh, there we go. I apologize, y'all.
No, take your time.
Let me try something else.
Okay, we're gonna talk about this a little bit, and then I'm gonna work on getting this back showing because it's not showing, and I don't know why.
Okay, we're gonna talk about this a little bit.
I pulled it on my phone too, just to make sure. And they're saying we can't see y'all or hear y'all. Why is this not showing when it always shows?
That's what happened earlier. That's what happened earlier to me when I tried to show it. It played earlier. Then when I loaded it up on the PowerPoint, it didn't. It didn't show.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we don't have to. You know, it's not hard to figure out. You know what's going on.
Queen, Sister Pearl, I'm gonna bring you in. Queen sharing was canceled. Okay. Is it possible for you to pull that video up on your YouTube? You have access. I'm gonna talk you through how to share the screen because we won't show this video. The one thing that Facebook ain't about to stop is this video from being shown.
Okay.
Tshaka, are you trying to pull it up too?
Yeah.
I'm bringing in all the links. All right, y'all. While we pull up this video, we're gonna show this video tonight. I'll be damned if I do and damned if I don't, but we're gonna show this video. So we have with us tonight Sister Pearl, Moore, as well as Dr. McCorvey. And this is a case of police brutality. And when the police feel like it's okay for them to over police, and when the police feel like we're their children and they can put their hands on us, and if the police feel like we're their slaves and they can put their hands on us, and when the police feel like they can do whatever they want to do to us and we ain't gonna do nothing. So anyone can step in right now. In fact, all of y'all step in while I try to figure out how to get this video on, because I'm gonna get this video working.
Well, on YouTube, it won't let me even load it. It won't let me even play it.
Okay.
Yeah, there might be some active shadow banning going on.
It is.
Fortunately, it has been shared widely up to this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been blocked.
Yeah, I can imagine, because just from the response that I've seen in the past few days of people who have shared it, who have commented, the awareness is now amplified. So whereas you might have had it only being shared locally in certain locales, now it is going viral the way it needs to go. This video needs to be shared everywhere, on every platform that there is where you're able to share. If you can share this video, because the main thing that it shows is the level of disrespect and disregard that these devils have for our lives, period. They don't care if you're a male. They don't care if you're a female. They don't care if you're a child. The depth of hatred, level of white supremacy that we see, where these people believe that they should even have agency over your body.
That's right.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
It's disgusting. And the fact that they would harm children deliberately.
So here's the deal too. We might not be able to see the video, but one thing we can do is hear the audio.
Yes.
I got it.
Okay.
Got it, Tshaka?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know how to
Let me.
share?
It's on my laptop, so I'm gonna put the laptop in front of me. And wait a minute. Okay.
Okay, pull it up a little bit more.
Yeah, I am. I just gotta turn it up.
Once again, y'all, they try to suppress us, and it ain't happening.
Right now. Right now. Y'all. Y'all. The police is calling on me. No, you get my keys. Put on me. This police. I'm on Highway 55. Hold it there. I'm on Highway 55. Y'all,
Shaka, we can see it. I just had you in the screen about your stuff. Pull it back up.
I need y'all. What you from? I'm down my taser. Leave my son alone. Leave my son alone. What is your name, sir? What is your name? Give me my hand. What is your name, sir? No, bro, let me go. Y'all, we on Highway 55. I just do nothing. I got my ITF because I'm drunk. We not far from South What's going on? This policeman is tasing us. Stop. He's tasing us. He's tasing us. Stop tasing my son. Help us, y'all. We on Highway 55. He tased me, y'all. He tased me, y'all. Help us. Stop tasing us, sir. Stop tasing us, sir. Stop tasing us. Let me go quick. Break my arm. Y'all. Sure. See the shirt, my back. No. Let me go first. No. Y'all, we need help. We need help. Y'all, stop. No. Y'all, this is a robot. Y'all, this man is hurting my son. Y'all, you shouldn't drive whipping. We on Highway 55. You shouldn't drive. We on Highway 55. Yes. Somebody call help. We need help. We need help, y'all. We on Highway 55. This sheriff is tasing us. He's fighting us, y'all. He's trying to take my son at the car. Yes, I don't know his name. I don't know his name. No. Be quiet. Just sit down. Sit down, baby. Sit down, no. No. Sit down. Get out of the car. No. Y'all, I don't know his name, y'all. He won't tell us his name.
I have no words right now.
What do you say?
Well, one thing I will say is I have a lot of emotion going on about this situation. And what's there for me is was I had a problem with the fact that when I saw this video on Facebook, some of the comments, like, why is she resisting? Like, this plantation thinking really does need to go away. If they think that it's okay for her to be yanked out this car, beaten, tased, her son to be beaten, tased, for there to be young children screaming and crying, it shows who grew up with slaves as great grandparents and grandparents and parents. And not saying that slavery hasn't been real, but it shows how the generational slavery mentality got passed down, which is sick in itself. Because anytime that you think that it's okay for this man, or saying, well, it might not be okay, but she shouldn't have been resisting, that means that your silence is violence just as well, which is why we're organizing a law enforcement accountability demonstration that's called Silence is Violence. All of these Black people who sit silent and sit high and look low are just as equally guilty as that white officer. I'm tired of them playing the race card, making it just a black and white conversation. It's time for some of these Black folks, for these church folks, for these rappers, for these ball players, for the people who actually can make a difference in this conversation to be held to account. The same way that we want these white boys and these good old boys to be held to account, they need to be held to account too, especially when they're making those ignorant ass statements. So that's how I'm feeling right now.
Absolutely. I cannot imagine being in that situation, especially with my children. I don't know that I would have been able to hold it together that well. It is very likely that I don't know what would have happened to me. They would have dragged me out and just beat me because I would not have been able to keep it together like that. And my problem with too many house Negroes and modern day whipping boys is that we want to kowtow to their society and we pick and choose when we want to stand up for Black people. And my problem is that as long as we are out here marching and protesting and rallying and it's against white people, the community is okay. But the moment we call out those whipping boys, the moment we call out these Black elected officials, Black pastors, when we call out Black DAs and people who hold high positions in law enforcement, all of a sudden, oh, y'all better stop. But how
some
dare
of these
you?
sorry ass employees that we hired.
Absolutely. How dare you tout the names of people like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. or John Lewis, but you only think it's okay for us to embody their legacy when it comes to standing against people who are not Black like us.
So, Queen
Absolutely.
Pearl, is there anything that you'd like to say right now? I mean, it's traumatizing to me. So I can only imagine the impact on you.
Yeah, just kind of breathing right now. There was no reason for him to even be that way. It's like after he ran my driver's license in, he immediately already came back kind of aggressive. And after I took the sobriety test, I agreed to step out, even though he didn't call back up. He didn't call for a female officer. He didn't do any of that. I still agreed to step out to take the sobriety test. And when he seen that I was not impaired or under any DUI and I was capable enough to drive, he said that, okay, everything's checked out. So he pulls me away from the camera. So whenever that footage comes, I mean, I'm hopeful we can get that. He pulls me away from the car cam, and now he's ready to get aggressive. And I've seen so many situations like this. Not once in a million years I ever thought that I would be involved in a situation like this. And I also see that a lot of our people it's like brushing it off like it's okay. It is not okay until something like this happens at your doorstep. Yeah. When he got aggressive with me, all because I turned around to try. First, I asked him, I was like, well, what am I being arrested for? And he would when I turned around, I was like, well, let me tell my son to call somebody. He just instantly snapped. He just grabbed me. Right now, this shoulder is like, it's damaged and I have problems out of it right now. But he grabbed me and once he slung me down, my son, who was 19 at the time, was not driving the car. did not have no intentions to be disorderly conduct or anything of that nature. All my son did was get out the car and say, "You don't have to do my mom like that." And that officer started beating my son in front of me, like he forget me now. He started beating my son, and all I could think of at that moment, where we're gonna, oh, this is my child. My child has asthma, been having asthma all his life. All I could think of was shielding each other, and we just drug each other back to the car. He was trying not to let us get to the car because he didn't. He knew that we didn't have no devices on us right then in the car. So all I could think of was we got to get more help out here. And we shielded each other, and we managed to kind of get away from him a little bit and drug ourselves back to the car. Now you got people saying, "Okay, why didn't you stop resisting?" And you got people saying, "Why didn't you just comply?" So let me tell y'all something. From an officer of that nature, being already aggressive in his mind, he was already knew what he was going to do. And for me as a mother to see him straight just start beating my child, no, I prefer we gonna be protective in this car. If he was gonna kill us, he had to kill us in this car. So that's how we were able to get our devices and record him. He wanted to kill us. I know he did. But he knew at that moment we were calling for help and we was recording him. And I was trying to at least get his name and stuff. But it didn't make a difference. Even when his other officers got there, it was like they participated in the same situation. And I have a second video of that nature too. But it's not right for these officers to be beating us like this. And not only DeSoto County officers, I want to bless Memphis Police Department. I was also beaten by 3 Memphis police officers dealing with my situation with my kids being wrongfully taken from me by the juvenile court system here. So all of this to me, I feel like it's all collided. Even when he ran my license in, I just feel like all of this is collided.
And it very well might be. I mean, that's the reality of it. I know King J was supposed to be on here. I don't know if his phone is dead or what's going on. But he tagged me. I tagged Shaka. We tagged Dr. McCorvey. Everybody just kind of started tagging and tagging and tagging. We didn't even realize that the video wasn't recent. So this sister's been there by herself for the last 6-7 months with this video not going viral and just dealing with whatever she's dealing with emotionally, mentally, physically, trying to get her children back, being blackballed, them trying to take her property. We aren't going to go too much into the property because that's a whole have you back home for that. But it's like my heart goes out to you. When I saw that video, King J tagged me and I was like, what can I do? And we got to start asking the questions of what can I do and be part of the solution instead of what did she do wrong? What can't I do? Why are they doing this? You know, we got so many scared Negroes out here where all they want to do is sit there and say, we're going to protest. But the only time they want to protest is when the cameras come out and they want a soundbite. But they don't want to actually sit there and go down to the police department and file the paperwork and say, my name is Chantaye Louise McLaughlin and this is where I live. They don't want to do all of that. They want to sit there and just hold on to the, like, well, the camera's rolling, so let me take a picture with Queen Pearl. And that's it. But we got a team of people who done came together to be able to support you. And we salute you. We stand in solidarity with you. And we're going to do whatever we need to do to bring justice to this case.
Yeah. Well, you know, I wouldn't have never made it home. You know, I probably would have seen y'all in another lifetime because I would have never have allowed that. Me and him I would have fought till there was nothing. I mean, nothing left in me, and we'd have been wrestling. And I don't even like to talk about that type of stuff on camera, but because a lot of so-called revolutionaries, which are nevolutionaries, you know, because I'm not with the, you know, going to Walmart, getting a stack of cardboard and yelling with posters and broke guns and all that. I'm not into that. I'm not into that. I'm into penetrating the walls of evil, taking the heads off of the ones that look like us. Now she's getting all these things. She should have been a good little bed wench, a good slave. Why you didn't just do what you know? Sometimes that don't work. Sometimes the more
It never
easier
works,
and the
Chantaye.
more you
Even past
comply,
work.
that opens the door for something else. Now, we've all heard about these sisters being pulled over in full compliance, getting out the car, being frisked, and then next thing you know, they're sexually violated. So that full compliance shit, you know, you did the right thing. You fought for them babies. You did the right thing. And when I do my video Friday in North Carolina, everybody that has said something about being a good slave, they're gonna feel it because nobody's saying nothing. And so, you know, nobody's saying nothing. Black men, and I'm talking about the majority of them. The majority of them, they have that. This system has taken the bite out of them. You know, but they have all the smoke for each other. They got all the smoke for these queens. They got all the smoke for people in the hood. They got all the smoke you can muster until them race soldiers pull up, till that real cavalry pulls up. That's why I said the last time it has actually been something serious with law enforcement was in the 60s. It hasn't, with the exception of Michael Johnson in Texas. Other than that, it has not been nothing else but a whole bunch of talk, people being bought, sold, scared to go to prison. You know, they talk like gorillas till it's time to go into the gorilla cage. See, this is not a journey. This ain't no mission. This is a journey. This is a life journey. Like I always say, we have been chosen in this day and time. Because God could have sent us here 300 years ago, but we were sent here today because the Creator knew we had what it takes to knock down the walls and penetrate the walls. That's why the last video I just did, I went on the people that look like us that are largely responsible for protecting the hierarchy of racism, white imperialism, and tyranny to ensure that we remain good slaves and remain in subordinate positions. Now, a few of us will escape the plantation and be given a couple of baskets of vegetables in terms of toys, and you know, you get your little infinity trucks and all that. A couple of them will get out, but the masses of them, the masses of us will not escape this. And nobody is getting out of this alive. None of us. I don't care what you think, you know, none of us are getting out of this alive. So it's best that we fight, because it's supposed to be 50 men on this station tonight. 50 men ready on this station. You know, because I don't believe in women being on the front line. That doesn't exist in my character. That's not my character. This is why I say these organizations and movements are government funded. You're gonna have women with guns on the front line with men standing behind them, man. That's some never mind. But you know, I believe, you know, the men are supposed to sacrifice their lives, and the women are supposed to take the next generation, take the children, and nurture them and raise them as they watch the man sacrifice his life, and that energy goes into the boys, and they become men, you know, and they do the same thing, and they follow suit. Now, you know, it's been a rash of, you know, black men killing sisters, you know, but with Pearl's situation, you know, it's undescribable of the anger and rage that it has. But you know, we've penetrated because since yesterday, they didn't start cutting it. They didn't start cutting it off. So we're moving. We're moving because yesterday everybody could watch it. Now all of a sudden today, you know, they blacking it out. So that means that they know something's coming down the pipe. You know, they know something's coming down the pipe, and it's a lot of noise that been made just within these last 24 hours. So it's
something is coming down the pipe.
Yeah,
It's called our
it
gun
is.
club.
Believe me, it is. Believe me, it is.
It's called Black Pride, Black Love. Something is coming down the pipe. And it's called, they better not try to charge me with that damn terroristic threat charge that they got holding over my head.
Yeah,
something is coming down the pipe.
You're right. You're right. So, you shouldn't have that charge. You know, I just don't. I'm traditional with the man and the woman. I believe the man's supposed to, give his life for his woman and his kids willingly and proudly, and proudly. So, just within the last 24 hours, a lot of stuff, because people in DC, everybody, like half of DC just saw this video. So, because I have a lot of connections in this city, a lot of connections. Our organization is a force to be reckoned with here. So DC, Baltimore, a lot of people have already viewed this video, but you're going to see the lack of effort that they're going to put in. That's the fear. That's the fear that people have. But why didn't you do this and why didn't you do that? Instead of people just bombarding this show,
yep.
where should we meet at, and what can we do? What can we do? Right. No matter what part of the country, even if you send a few dollars or something to help out with something, help whoever's going down there. Here's $100 for food, so y'all can have lunch, or give the sister Pearl, because there's no way all these people, especially in Memphis, that has those skills of carpentry and all that. It should be 100 people around that house in the morning with trucks and everything, with wood, and go to Home Depot and, I would take that shit for real, but, and go to Home Depot and start renovating our house to show them that we're not playing no more. We're not playing no more. And that's where I'm at with it. I'm getting a little warm now.
Oh, yeah.
Warm it up then. Come on now, Tshaka, bring it.
It's enough to burn
my shows, Pearl just watched my show. It's no cut card. I don't give nobody.
I'm always following your show, brother, because when I say we need more men out here like that, I'm showing up in the city, no matter where we are. Come on now, we need strong men. We have women out here and children. Come on now. We need more men like that. You are a good brother, a heavily strong, protective brother, and we need more that's gonna speak up, and not only speaking up, but stand up.
We have to stand up and not just, that what do we want? No justice. I'm sick of that shit. I'm sick of that bullshit, man. And then as soon as the cavalry come, they'll send Sharpton, the gatekeeper, say, let the law prevail, and then take your anger home and then kill each other later on that night because you're so angry that you didn't step up. You take it out on one another. And this stuff is orchestrated and we're conditioned to have this particular mindset and this mind frame because, because for real, I don't display nothing. You only see me. You only see me.
That's right.
That's why I say you got an army that you see, and then you got one that you don't. And no wise general will ever give opposition a head count on what the playing field is going to look like.
That's right.
Yeah,
it's just that simple.
Else for StreamYard, Dr. R.G. Bryant, aka my friend since 13, aka I'll be 43 tomorrow, so that's 30 years.
Don't say the band camp thing. Don't say band camp. But y'all, let me first. Let me speak to the mom there. I'm not even gonna say what I think. But I want to speak to your children right now. To God be the glory. And my mother, well, I take care of Alzheimer's. I can only imagine how they feel. And so to them, let's just make sure that we're praying for them and we have them in our prayers along with you. But when we go into Memphis, y'all, I don't want to talk no more.
September 2nd.
I want just because after we get hold on, y'all. Chantaye, when you get off this call tonight, man, you need to talk because we're gonna have some meetings when we go to Memphis. And I want to talk to some of them leaders. And if I see a black leader there that haven't done anything for you, baby, we put some foots and asses.
So Robert, I want you to bring the Alpha Phi Alpha chapter with you because we need support from everybody. I reached out to some Qs. We're gonna bring the fraternities, the sororities, the people who normally ain't out there. Because I know I usually ain't out there, but I saw this and it kind of is hard not to be out there, not to not be out there.
Who in the right mind could put their hands on a mother, much
in
less
front
you
of her kids like
that could have been my mama. That could have been y'all's mama.
Those are her
When we gonna get
grandkids
it?
too.
That's
They could
what
be your
bothers me. When are
grandmama.
we gonna get it? This is not what bothers me. What our community sometimes, and excuse my passion, but we gotta stop, wait till it impacts you. When it impacts that young lady, it already impacted you.
Yep.
You better say it.
Our mother. She's our sister. Those are our kids.
That's right.
We got to stop with this individual thought because at any given time that could be our mother or our kids. So we belong to each other. We can't stand and say my brother and my sister's keeper, and then you see somebody on the streets getting drugged and getting tased. That man, if he felt that she was a threat, he should have called the female officer on the scene. That is protocol. And this is a state trooper. So he shouldn't have, you couldn't see the part of the video in the beginning where her butt was up in the air and he had his hands on her pants, pulling her out, pulling her clothes down. This ain't slavery.
That's right.
But he's a starch, you know. See, I know how they look because, like I said, I physically fought these. You know, they broke both of my legs. You know, so you know, one of my feet was turning the other way backwards, and they still choked me out, and then put me in a hole for 5 months. You know, with no toilet, you know, a hole in the floor, and no food. So you know, if you look at him, he's muscular, he stinks, he has that ammonia smelling odor on him. He doesn't even wear boxers. If you look at, he has on baby little boy underwear.
Right.
No, hold on one second. I might zone out because I'm in the country roads. But we need to sit with this young lady. And one thing about me, I tell people all the time, we're not gonna just go up in there without no demands. And so we need to write some demands, not just for this, but a broader set of demands. And that one thing is that mofo need to be fired. Number two, you need to be paid for your pain and injuries. That's enough. That's the first two things we're going in there for. So y'all going to make that list too. Because if I go out on these back roads, I want to make sure we say that loud and clear. A protest without demands is just whining.
Right. That's right. That's why I'm not down with that. I'm not down with that. But not just fire him. See, fire him means that he can go to another county, another jurisdiction and get hired. If you take his performance bond, you take the performance bond from him, then you take his pension. That means his kids don't go to college because he done destroyed another family. So his children shouldn't deserve. They should be traumatized too. They should feel the same thing that he's out there because this is not his first time doing this. This is not his first time doing this. He's gotten away with it for a long time. So we need to look his history up because right now they're probably fixing his jacket up where he has this squeaky clean record, but not no Mississippi. None of them are clean like that. You know,
and they probably messing her record up, trying to sit there and discredit her. And keep in mind, the original charge was a DUI. So I'll say it like that. And we aren't going to go into guilt versus innocence on the DUI. What I'll say is, since when would alcohol, marijuana, any of that warrant you to get your ass whooped like that?
That's right.
By the police.
That's right.
Because if anything, and she ain't driving, she on the passenger side.
Right.
So what's she gonna do? If she had been drinking, what would be the responsible thing to do? Sit your ass on the passenger side and let somebody else drive.
Right.
So
and there's no crime for that.
That she was drinking. There is no crime for that, Kiana.
There's no crime there. There really is no
It don't
crime.
even matter at this point. It doesn't even matter. It's the behavior. It's the behavior that took place. Now I'm not into at this point. I would, if it was me, I would rather see him fired and get his performance bond taken and not even be able to get a security job opposed to $1 million.
Right.
But Brother
Because that's
Shaka,
gonna
he's not.
that
Brother
sends more
Shaka, he's not the
shockwaves
only
to them
one.
than because they famous for doing that. They kill us.
Yeah.
We protest. We pray, we forgive, we get paid, sign papers, shut up, and then we move on. And then they go to the next, and then the people that look like us, they go to the next dead person. That's why I say dead.
The reason that's the case is because we never come with demands. We never. I'll go back to Ahmaud Arbery. That should have never happened. But you know what we did? We had the photo opportunities with Ben Crump and all of them. And Ben Crump, I don't have no issue with him. But what Ben Crump does not do is come with a list of demands. That's what we fail every time. We have yet, hold on. We have yet to send Biden a damn list of demands.
You better say it. You better say it. Look, we are all right there with you, Dr. Bryant. You are on the right call because honestly, you're preaching to the choir on this one because you got the right group. We are not only ready to organize, we're ready to mobilize. We are ready. We are the ones who stand ready. And the challenge that we face is getting these house Negroes, getting the Uncle Toms, getting the ones who are so indoctrinated into this system to come over and not be afraid. Because at the end of the day, if we would all truly do it, then what can they do? And let's just be very realistic about it. We can look at it statistically if you want to. If we only had 10% willing to stand up, imagine what we could do. Imagine what we could do. But instead, we keep looking to the Ben Crumps, to the Al Sharptons, to the Lee Merritts. And if we got to get on a more local level, we keep looking to people like NAACP and Francis Johnson. We keep looking, but what they really be doing?
Nothing.
Because at the end of the day, they lead us to hell in a handbasket too many times. Because the thing that people don't realize when they keep leaning on some of these pastors and churches is that the 501c3 nonprofit has been nothing but a pipeline to silence Black people for the longest. This is the reason why the church can't be what it used to be because of their 501c3 status.
Because they're afraid of losing their funding. And let me share this with y'all real quick.
I'm about to hop on something. Let me say this last thing. Val Demings, Raphael Warnock, and the brother in Wisconsin, if y'all want our vote, do some work. I'll holler at y'all.
No, you better stay with us, Robert.
I'm in the back row, so I'm gonna let y'all that. But them 3 senators, we need to put them on the docket. You don't want to do something about these issues. You want to do something about the back end, then you don't get our vote.
No,
y'all have to be some good Negroes.
Right, that's right. That's right.
Right.
With Dr. Bryan on that one. Definitely with Dr. Bryan on that one. We have to stop thinking that representation is enough. It's already been said that all skin folk ain't kinfolk. Just because you look like me doesn't mean that you have the same interest as me. Just because you might resemble me doesn't mean you're going to stand up for my children the way I would for yours. There are too many people who look like us standing in positions of authority and purporting to lead Black people, but you're leading us right back to the master's plantation.
Yeah, exactly. Because dead Negroes matter. That's right. That's the key. That's the key. The George Soros funded, movement. That's why Darren Seals was executed and set on fire because they used dead Blacks matter when they came through, because that's when you see everybody has bought into and got the bag.
That's right.
All of them. Tamika, all of them.
Yes,
all of them.
Tamika Mallory. I will say their names the same way that I say the names of Black people who have been murdered at the hands of police unjustly. I say the names of those people who are shucking and jiving out here and doing the C word that we can't say for these white people. Tamika Mallory, Jamal Bryant, Al Sharpton, Ben Crump, Lee Merritt, Francis Johnson. I can go on and on and on because the list continues. We get these people like Raphael Warnock who want my vote. Yet you have the family of a victim of police brutality at your church and you won't even acknowledge them? Why
Marvin Arrington Jr. taking on
Marvin
Miss Kathy Light's case, knowing he
Jr.
wasn't going to do nothing.
Went to Columbus to
Come
the
on,
family
Bernard.
of Jarvis Likes to take on his case when he was murdered by a state trooper, allowed the statute of limitations on a civil suit to run out, knowing the very limited evidence that they had, and then left the family high and dry, saying that the case was unwinnable. Yet Marvin Arrington continues to sit in a seat on the Fulton County Board of Commissioners,
who control the funding for these jails and
Black
prisons.
people. We gotta stop this.
See, y'all, you know, y'all in Atlanta, I assume. But here in Washington, it's the same way. That's what I was telling Chantaye when she came up here last week. You know, it was all, you know, nice and beautiful. I said, now you see how this looks. You go 5 blocks up, and it's like a third world country.
Walmart. Walmart gave me PTSD.
My gosh.
The metal detectors. Come on in, Bernard.
Hey,
got 2 minutes left.
Hello, how y'all doing? I couldn't sit here and just continue to just listen to this without tuning in. I'm gonna say this here, and I'm gonna say this to the beautiful Black young ladies that's on this platform now. You right. We as Black men need to join in and fight for y'all. Y'all fight for us. So we should be able to stand up and fight for y'all. I am sorry what happened to you, Miss Pearl. And whatever I need to do, come to Memphis. I'm right there with y'all. And we talking about Al and Crump. They in it because the camera ain't on. It don't benefit them. You know what I'm saying? It don't. And we need to help ourselves. I always say on my show, enough is enough. When we gonna stop allowing people to mistreat us like this? And they saying at the end of the day, the policemen, y'all the one committing the crime. Y'all commit the crime on us.
Absolutely right. I agree.
You know,
regarding Al Sharpton agency, I know I spoke with Nan about my story, and I told him how I gave a social media team $8,000, and they said, "Why would you give them $8,000? Not a lawyer." This is almost a year ago that they've been getting me a lawyer, and guess what? They ain't got me a lawyer, and they don't even return phone calls. And I just sat on those Zooms and won them all that stuff, and then making false promises. I've sat with a lot of these organizations considering joining and everything else. That's why I did join the National Association of Black Defenders, because we are getting results. You know, I know for a fact.
Sir. Yes.
He fell asleep on the Zoom. I had to remove him. I don't know if y'all heard him sleeping, but he's been in Austin working on a case there. He'll be in Memphis tomorrow morning to meet with Queen Pearl, and we ain't taking this shit. Yeah. We tired.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Tired. Because Dr. McCorvey and Chantaye and others in the National Association for Black Defenders is a powerful force. You know, I've had that personal experience with them, and I mean, you know, the plugs that they have to certain people and certain organizations and things of that nature, they have the ability. And some of the ability, I know I've been with some of the most renowned scholars and lecturers and warriors that ever came to the planet. But when it comes, like I always tell Chantaye, I stay in the lane I'm supposed to stay in. I'm gonna ride with you the whole way, but I got, you know, this. You got the whole 2 lanes over here because you have that type of energy, and you've been connected with certain individuals and organizations and entities, you know. And this is where we fall as a people, because everybody wants, you know, it's all chiefs and no Indians. You know, everybody wants the bag. Nobody wants to actually be a student. I'm a student forever.
Yeah.
So, you know, but I'm a flamethrower. I'm not one who, gets all, because a lot of our brothers have that feminine emotion and get to screaming and all that. I'm not into that.
And
I
I'll just
spent 13 years,
yeah.
in prison, all for 30 years. So the emotional, that stuff is for y'all. And we have to get busy and get to work, and brothers have to put their images and egos and their little bubblegum credentials to the side and allow men to unite with men, because every man don't know how to be a man. Every man don't know how to conduct themselves as such. And so, when you humble yourself to get those instructions, which are divine instructions in terms of manhood and womanhood, that makes you stronger. It makes you more of a man. It makes you embrace that male energy. I don't believe in that alpha man and all that. A man is a man. You don't have to, categorize and put nobody's manhood on no alphabet table and all this type of stuff. You either a man or you not. And what constitutes a man is character, morality, but most of all, loyalty.
Well,
Loyalty.
real quick, Tshaka, with Sister
Yes.
on the phone. And Bernard, I'm gonna let you go on too, because I'm gonna call Julius and make sure it's okay for us to go over tonight.
Yeah.
But you would have been pissed off if you would have heard that Reverend last night. Sister Pearl was on the call. We had a Reverend from Memphis. They called him in to get the support of the church. So, and Bernard, to answer your question, we going down there Labor Day weekend, September 2nd is the day that we'll be there. I'm gonna send you the flyer. But this Reverend, the first thing he said is, "Are y'all saved?" And we said yes. Then he proceeds to tell us how this ain't the business of God. This is because if it was the business of God, that God is our redeemer, God will fight our battles, and we shouldn't be out here fighting these kinds of battles. Then he proceeds to tell us how bad our kids are and how we don't know where they are.
Oh, I know the hell he did.
Running around somewhere.
Yes, he did.
His ass out.
And y'all didn't call me because what now?
Kiana, you know I'm gonna get him. Then he threw in his age. I'm 80-something years old. I said, I don't care about that.
And you can go to hell just the same.
Yeah. But what is his name?
That's what I know. He just knew him as the Reverend. We gonna find out his name. But with him, whoever he is, he's supposedly one of the most powerful preachers there in Memphis. And that let us, and they let the person that brought him in, I don't want to say his name, they brought him in because he's working this case as an investigator. He let him know that we're not going to have the support of the Black church when we come to Memphis. So he plans on using his power in the pulpit, which is like the show Pimps in the Pulpit. He plans on using his power in the pulpit to silence us when we get to Memphis.
Yeah. And that's a prime example I always say. People that look like us ain't always for us. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You got all these people who in these office and these reverend, everybody, they're not for us. And,
right.
And I guarantee you, if you sit and you talk to somebody for 2 minutes, you already know whether they're for us or not for us at the end of the day. And for that preacher, whatever his name is, saying that's just the white folks got him. If he 87 years old, that means the white folks he ain't gonna change. And instead of him embracing the situation and say, hey, my sister, I'm gonna welcome y'all to Memphis and we're gonna go down there and we're gonna get some justice. That's the problem, man. We sell our folks sell us out so quick than anything. And you know what that comes from? Money. I mean, money. And I say this on the rabble. One thing about Black folk, we like this here. We want to look good, smell good, stay in these expensive house that they can't pay for. They want to drive these BMW, knowing that they renting it, knowing that they ain't got no money to pay for all this, and that's what they look at us. We rather look good than to stand up for what's right.
Amen. Because I watched the
okay, can I say something?
Crash so that I can stand up for justice. So I get it. I get it. I'm like,
and so can I say something?
To rub on my kneecap. Come on, Sister Pearl.
Yeah, and so he got off the call when he got to saying that our children are bad and something just talking about the kids. And so, as Sister Chantaye was saying, well, my children are not bad, and he kept telling her, "Oh, they are." So this is where I came in, and I kind of took the mic a little bit. So I asked him. I said, "Well, I was just telling him. I said, well, do you not see the situation that's going on? Dealing with my situation, this is a chain of command that's happening. Dealing with my situation, first of all, my children were wrongfully taken from me by the juvenile court system here in Memphis on false allegation that they have yet to prove. Second of all, it's been now 3 years I've been fighting this situation. So therefore, while my kids are away from me, who never been away from me, so I'm breaking it down, trying to tell this pastor. I said, so my kids could be in and got caught up with the wrong crowd. I'm a mother who my children would have been in the house. I would know where my kids are, and my children have never been in trouble, first of all. So until up to this point, that since my kids been wrongfully taken, I got a runaway young teen. I got a child that's still physically in their custody. I got 3 that are aged out, but in the same time, before they aged out, they have tried to put charges on my kids. So you don't see that this is what pushing our kids out here. They changed the laws. You can't whoop your child, you go to jail. So I asked him, and shoot, after that, everything got silent. I think he had to get the hell off the call.
Yeah. Yep. And I was gonna say this too. In regards to her charges, we watched this officer beat her ass in front of those kids, and they had the nerve to charge her with child endangerment. When does the officer get charged with child endangerment?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
they get held accountable for the trauma that they're causing.
Yeah, because this trauma might show up when they're 30 years old. They might suppress it. You know, my father died in front of me when I was 9 years old, and the police could have saved him. It took 45 minutes for them to respond. And when my father was vomiting, they put him on his back, and I watched my father choke on his vomit when I was 9 years old. That shit didn't start showing up till I was about 27, 28.
Yeah. Right.
At any given time.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm like this here. If you a black man and you just got through watching that video, and if you ain't mad, then you got some issues.
It's a problem.
It's a problem. And like I said with my brother, I wouldn't even be here right now if I was in that situation. Like we said, I see you know the side. Trust me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's where I would have been. I'd have been gone. I've been gone.
And it's the
Flat out.
history. It's the history of it's the history of the white men. It's the cowards. It's history.
Yes.
They need something to pump them up. They need something. You know what I'm saying? They're already afraid of. Matter of fact, this whole country already afraid of us.
Yes.
All we have to do is stick together.
That's it.
That's it. We got basketball. We got the football. We got music. We got movie. We already got everything. So now what they gonna do is they try to take us down. But they ain't gonna take me down. You know, and trust me, if they take me down, they're gonna take me down, and I'm gonna be fighting.
Got that right.
But you know what? We don't really have basketball. We don't really have football, and we really don't have the movies. You know why? Because BET is owned by a wealthy white family because they decided to sell it out.
I understand what he's saying, though. I understand what he's saying. That
they got the money.
We're the money makers.
But they're employees. They got these contracts
right, I know.
down and locked in so that they can't even come out to a rally or protest. And
that's only because they won't stand together.
They become gatekeepers and they try to influence based off of their affluence. So
that's true too.
How do we sit there? Like, we got to stop selling our black companies to these white folks, giving them power and control. And it's not just every white person, but the ones that have no interest in the black community. We got to stop selling out that way.
That's right.
Yeah.
And the reality is, even when it comes, the only thing that we've ever really had for real is our land, and some of the land got left down from the slave owners, but the black church. And during Bush's administration, when he started auditing these black churches and their records and looking into the finances, whereas in the past, the fiduciary responsibility was that of the church. But during the Bush administration, he started looking into the finances of the churches. Because y'all remember he was trying to hold Joel Osteen and Joyce Myers to account, and he kind of let them go. But that TD Jakes and the Creflo Dollar, they came under some real scrutiny with their finances. So it's like how that all disappeared, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'll say that grant money controls a lot of these churches. And every time, like everybody asks me, why won't I start a nonprofit? I want to donate to you. I'd rather donate. If you want to donate to me, then you can hire me for $10,000 for a service that takes me 5 minutes to do. It doesn't matter how you cut the check, just cut the check, right? If you really want to hire me, because I'm not starting a nonprofit because I'm a little too radical for my board to vote me off. So it's like, because the thing is, you don't even own the nonprofits. You can grow that nonprofit to $100 million. Your board members own that nonprofit. And if your board don't have enough pull to get you in those rooms that you don't have the ability to get yourself into, you really ain't a nonprofit. I mean, you really are a nonprofit. You just ain't in business.
Yeah.
Just an employee.
Yeah.
Absolutely right.
That's right.
But y'all, you all have the number. Sister Pearl, Chantaye, can you give the gentleman and the other sister my number?
I definitely will, and I'm gonna share the flyer. Okay, we're gonna go maybe 2 more minutes, or 5 more minutes. We got to do the outro. Bernard, how about you finish it up with some commentary while I pull up this flyer? Okay, sir.
All right. Like I said, we just need to come together and fight. Enough is enough. Hey, even if it's 5 of us, it's 5 of us. You know what I'm saying? Stop letting people do us all kind of way and mistreating us. And one thing I'm gonna say this in too before we leave. We as older people, we need to start reaching out to our young people and listening to them. I was coach for 25 years and I deal with young folks. All they're saying is, if y'all just listen to us, and we work together, we'll be okay. All kids ain't bad kids. You know what I'm saying? And it's like this. We got bad kids in black. They got bad kids in white. We got to. At the end of the day, the reason why they trying to, keep us down is because their kids want to be like our kids. To be honest, you know what I'm saying? They got the white kids. They wearing cornrows and all that. Come on. So hey, let's stick together.
Yeah, you're right.
Stick together, and if we come as a family, we'll be okay. Hey, and Miss Pearl, like I said, I'm truly sorry. I could not sit here and watch that without coming over here and apologize to you. And we hey, I'm sorry, and that we're gonna get justice. Trust me, we're gonna get justice. It don't matter what you go through. You didn't deserve to get, you or your kids, your grandkids deserve to get beat like y'all did.
Thank you.
Yeah. You went through that, and that situation is only preparing you for something else. That's all.
All right, y'all. It's loading right now. So as we part, I'm gonna pull up this flyer and let this flyer be our parting words, so everybody knows how to get involved. Silence is. Look at her face in that picture, y'all. Like, for real.
Yeah.
If y'all don't think that's trauma, then y'all are heartless bastards, and you don't even need to identify as brown or black. So on that,
that's the face when you don't know if your life depending on it or not.
Yeah.
Yep. On that note, it's been Unjust. This has been Unjust, and we will see y'all next week.
Yeah. Hey, y'all hang in there. We love y'all.
You too, brother. All of you.
Peace to all of you.
Love y'all. Peace.
back to that.